Shalom, all praise to the Yahweh, Shem Yahushua, Bashem HaKadosh, double honor to the elder apostles of great most under all world. Shalom to the brothers in the work, certain truth, pushing his word to the four corners. Just wanted to kind of, throw in my 2 cents with what, Zabach's been saying, because obviously he's initially, you know, bringing up, trying to push, what was it, brotherhood over doctrine, which he's really just getting offended, because the spotlight's been put on him, because he's being cool with Genesis, and there's really that whole unity spirit which is old, that's been around, and what's it built up to? What's it built up? It's not built anything up, man. It's just brought in more confusion, because that's really like that's something people are like, oh wait, it's like, why is GMS going to get, look, man, you should just come together. Being an Israelite's about, it's like, bro, being an Israelite's about what, the job, the task we've been given, and fulfilling that, the service of the Most High. That's what we're doing. We're basically trying to fulfill our lot because of what you call it? Trying to fill our lot because of what, for us to receive salvation, we basically need to be in good stead with Yahushua, which requires of us certain things. So I read this, Ezekiel 33:1, it says, again, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon a land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. So the watchman, the man that's been set as a watchman, his role, his job, he's basically got to give that fucking hell. His job's to warn the people ahead of time. I'll read a bit more. So and if the guy comes, he hears a warning and takes no heed, it's on him. So he says, he heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning, his blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will require the watchman's hand. So, that role of a watchman, which was Isaiah 62, I believe it is, I've set watchmen upon thy walls, that, they'll not like something their voice day nor night. I can't remember the exact wording. I think Isaiah 62, early on, like 2 or 4, something like that. But was it but then we're basically playing a role of that watchman, and part of that role as a watchman is what? Forewarning. And then if we don't do our job of forewarning, the blood's on our hands. And that's why it's, if a guy is coming out saying some boot shit or saying some funk, you can't just be letting him, get away with it. Because, you could reprove the guy and he's like, oh, I broke it down, Salak, he could receive the rebuke, and then, you've saved his soul. But if you're taking, the brotherhood, you basically, the emotional connections more, then it's just like you're not fulfilling what you need to be done. Because as far as it's like, what we're dealing with is the words of the book, the volume of the book. That's what we're dealing with Yahushua. So that means that what's been written was basically instructions, guidance on how to deal with and address these things. Obviously we have the brotherhood. There's a certain way we've got to deal with brothers, but that includes reproof, rebuke. Isaiah 58:1, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. So, pointing out people's sins and transgressions, that's cool. Like, you basically got to lift up, it's not about not holding it back. You basically just got to go out and if you see, if you're watching a video, you catch a guy say some off shit, like, the heathen are going to make it like what Genesis is teaching. Now everyone's coming out with their funk doctrine. Nate's come out with funk doctrine. Genesis coming out with funk doctrine. And then, what Zabach saying, which is it's not correct. And then again, even saying as well afterwards, what was it? That, he's saying someone in GMS threatened his life, which, that's just madness. That's insanity. Because as far as, if you're really in GMS, then you've got no, like, that's just not in any way how we get down. So for that to have happened, obviously with no receipts, so he's just saying it, and then anyone that don't like GMS, they're just gonna run with it. But then the reality of the matter is he's getting upset. He's breaking bread. He's dealing with Genesis, where these guys are teaching wholesale madness, which then you just kind of look like, what's going on here? So it says, oh, actually, I can get to the next one. So was it Proverbs 15? Was it 31? So it says, the ear that heareth the reproof of life abideth among the wise. He that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul, but he that heareth reproof getteth understanding. And yeah, and the thing is as well, is even the guys you're dealing with, Genesis, these guys ain't heard the reproof. These men, if we're going by what Elazar said, even before, he was saying them man had come with, everyone can make it doctrine, and got rebuked before. But then, they split from him. So now that, they're under their own selves, they're just like, okay, we're just going to, no, actually the heathen can make it. No, actually there is a form of salvation for the heathen. So they've basically just gone and been like, fuck it, we're just bringing our own doctrine. But what does it say? He that heareth reproof getteth understanding. The fear of the Lord Jehovah is in the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. And yeah, the humility that don't exist. Evidently, it doesn't exist. Because why? These guys are puffed up, teaching their own thing. So it's like they're if they're not receiving, these guys are. Why are you dealing with them peaceably? There's an instruction on how to address a guy. Mark them that cause division. That's causing division. If you're just coming in and just saying, actually, no, salvation is for the heathen. There's going to be those in the heathen in slavery. Then there's those that we teach, and they're going to be on point. Bro, they took the bag, man. Come on. Matthew 18:7, it says, woe unto the world because of offences, for it must needs be that offences come, but woe to that man by whom the offence cometh. And yeah, that's a thing, because it's really offensive. He got offended. Because why? He's getting a spotlight put on him for dealing with them, and for even statements made after the spotlights persisting on him. Because why? He's saying certain men in GMS said X, Y, Z with no proof. But then what is it? As far as for that woe unto the man by who the offence cometh. It's like people are gonna get offended in this thing, but that's to your own own downfall. It says, what? Wherefore, if thy hand or thy foot offend thee, cut them off and cast them from thee. It's better for thee to enter into life halt or maimed, rather than having 2 hands or 2 feet to be cast in the everlasting fire. Just thinking of fucking hell, bruv. If your right hand offend, let me not. It was an inside joke. Fucking hell. You chop it off. Fucking hell, that Benjamin's crazy, man. But yeah, no, that's if your right hand offends you chop it off, man. You gotta be willing to cast certain things off, which a lot of guys are not willing to do, man. Because what does it say? Okay. Luke 19:20, and another came saying, Lord, behold, here is thy pound, which I have kept laid up in a napkin, for I feared thee, because thou art an austere man. And it's the parable of the pounds. And then what Yahushua is likened to, what an austere man, a hard man as well. In Matthew, I believe it says, thou takest up what thou layest not down, and thou reapest that thou didst not sow. And he saith unto him, out of thine own mouth will I judge thee, thou wicked servant. Thou knewest that I was an austere man, taking up that I laid not down, and reaping what that I did not sow. So yeah, knowing Yahushua was what an austere man, you should then know it's like how, for you to just cast aside, like, okay, there's a certain way, reproof, rebuke, like you've basically got to be everyone's got to be saying one thing, everyone's got to be in accord for you to be like, two walk together except they be agreed. For you to be walking together with Genesis, when these guys have brought in some stank, rank off leaven, like, then what the hell are you doing? Like, what are you talking about? What are we doing here? This is what because even what I just skipped to 27, it says, what, but those mine enemies which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. So that's the level of rawness, austerity, the hardness that Yahushua is coming with. So then how much more so to just then tell a guy, you're teaching is complete bullshit. Stop teaching that, teach the correct doctrine. Like, and you're getting hurt. Because why? It's as far as that's the first reproof is rebuke. They're meant to hold that and then change their ways. But, evidently these things become an offense. And, it's become an offense again. But, and, it was brought up as well by the Apostle Tahar, belief that, these guys aren't teaching about the mark, man. There's people, under him, where he's basically what? He's not teaching them about the mark. That's something that if when that time comes, they ain't gonna know what the hell's going on. Or they might, they might be watching GMS on the side, so they might know. To be fair, it's one of those things. It's become very, very mainstream. It's been a hot topic for a minute as well. It's been a hot topic for a minute. It kind of comes up in any and every video. Over here in the UK got the digital ID as well. So these things are pushing forward. But why? It's the doctrine is something you don't play with. The doctrine is something that's just core and central and necessary. Everyone needs to be in accord on that doctrine, or confusion comes in. But yeah, just kind of a few scriptures that came to mind, man. But yeah, shalom.